already know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Smoke Show. Before we start today, like button on the way in. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's Buffalo Week.
It's that time.
Buffalo Week. It's Fired Up Friday. Bobby's got a brew. I don't have a brew. I should have got a brew. I need a brew. Jay, you look like you're in a cave. I don't know why, but all that matters is it's Buffalo Week, baby. I could not be more fired up for this damn game, Bobby. I want to run through a wall. I want to run through a damn wall. 2-0. Both teams are 2-0. The winner of this game is going to be the King of the East. King of the East.
King of the NFL.
Amen. Nah. See, here's what's going to happen. If we win this game, when we win this game, they're going to put Buffalo at 1 and us at 2, and they'll be like, oh, Buffalo's banged up. That's what's going to happen.
Doesn't matter, though. If we win this game, we are the best team in the NFL because they've been wiping folks out, wiping people out. If we win this game, we're 2-0. We are the best team in the league. Right now, I'm happy to give it to the Bills because they've been shitting on teams, all right? So I'm okay with that. You know what? Yep. It's the truth. But we're 2-0. We just beat Bill Belichick, and then we beat the Ravens, who are looking like a powerhouse. Literally, if they just win that game and we don't come back at half, they're looking like a powerhouse, probably top 3 team in the NFL. We come back against that team, and we're 2-0. I would go as far as to say this, and I'm including the Giants because that's just how it goes, especially this early in the year. If any 2-0 team beats the Bills, they are the best team in the league because they're 3-0, and they just beat the team that's been wiping people out and are the Super Bowl favorites.
It's hard to argue.
Obviously, it's not realistic for the Giants to beat the Bills, so obviously I wouldn't include them in that. But if we beat the Bills at 2-0, we are the best team.
What are you saying? If it's when, bro? It's when we beat Buffalo. When we beat Buffalo, we are the best team in the NFL. Debate a wall. Bobby, chime in, brother. Chime in because earlier in the week, you're like, my expectation is to fucking compete. My expectation is to win this game now, Bobby. No, I demand to win this game.
I've gotten there. I've fully gotten there, bro. I've lived this tough Dolphins lifestyle where I try to not get myself too high because I know that the low is coming. But at this point in time, I am all the way fucking there. Competing in this game is not what I'm expecting. I think that's a given. I think the Dolphins are going to go out and compete in this game no matter what. And I am now expecting the Dolphins to win this football game. There's been a lot to change. There's been injuries. There's been this. There's been that. But I'll say this off the very top of the show because I think it's very important. If the Dolphins go out and when the Dolphins go out and win this football game, I don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want to hear the injuries. Right. Oh, we had our safeties and our corners. NFL, injuries happen. It happens to every team. It's going to happen to the Dolphins at some point this year. 100%. It already has. It already has, exactly. Offensive line, we have our right tackle out and our left tackle, who knows? So you can't complain about the injuries. They're going to happen in the NFL. When you get hit in the mouth, you got to have a game plan. You got to come back firing. And I think Mike, big-ass balls, McDaniel has that game plan. He's had his balls in that wheelbarrow all week, lugging those things around South Florida, and he is ready to go, baby. I'm ready to go. I know Smoke's ready. Jay's ready. This show is going to be fucking lit. I've been looking forward to it all fucking week. I cracked a beer at 3 o'clock today just because I had to calm the nerves. I had to calm the nerves to get in the zone. It's fucking Buffalo week, dude.
It's Buffalo
week. If that doesn't fire you up, check the pulse.
Check
the pulse, baby.
Amen.
Check the pulse.
So I want to go over the injury report. Now, mind you, like I don't ever root for injuries for opposing teams, even though it's in our own division. I don't know how Bills Mafia gets down. It wouldn't surprise me if they pop champagne when they find out people tear their ACLs. That's just what I've heard. Like from what I've heard from people's experience with them in Buffalo, I heard they're all low lifes, except Tracy. Shout out Tracy. She's cool as hell. But from the most part, from what I've been hearing, is that they're scumbags. And it is what it is. So their injury report is kind of gross. Micah Hyde officially out. Dane Jackson officially out. Ed Oliver officially out. Jordan Phillips officially out. Those are 4 dudes. Like 4 dudes, man. Now listen, I'm not going to sit up here and act like, prior to this, I thought the Dolphins were going to go out there and smash Buffalo. Did I expect to win? Yes, because we've constructed the best roster we've ever had in 20 years. And I've told you, Bobby, since the schedule came out, I only care about beating Buffalo. I told you. I said I'd rather go 2-2 and beat Buffalo than go 3-1.
Yep.
I'm on record saying, like, this has always been the game I've had circled, right?
100%.
I, obviously, after this injury report, I'm viewing this game as a must-win. They don't have Micah Hyde. Okay, and him and Jordan Poyer, that's like the foundation of their defense. At least communicating, because they don't blitz a lot. They play a lot of zone, and when you play a lot of zone, you have to be able to communicate effectively. So when that main communicator goes down, I mean, and now you're starting your third and fourth string corners because White, he's been out. Like, obviously we've known that, but he's obviously your cornerback one. Yeah. And then Christian Benford, you drafted him in the 6th round, and him and Kyer, they've been battling out. So that was your 2 and 3 because Dane Jackson, I'm sorry, I can't speak right now. He was your second corner. So now you're playing your 3rd string and your 4th string corner. They're both rookies. Your backup safety, and you're going up against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and now they don't have Ed Oliver or Jordan Phillips. This is a must-win game for the Miami Dolphins now. Before, it wasn't. It really wasn't. But if we can't go out there and beat Buffalo when they have their secondary this depleted, we have a problem. This is a must-win game now for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, and Smoke kind of said it, and let me just add to his point. I will never root for an injury. I will never be happy a guy's hurt. Like, that is not in my blood. That is a scumbag move. If you're doing that, you're an absolute fucking loser. But when you get to the game and you look at the injury report and the other team has a lot of guys out, I think it's okay to be excited about the competitive advantage you're gaining. I think that's more than fair. Like, I would love these guys to be out here, be healthy, be good to go, but they're not. So it is what it is at this point. You have to do what it is. Next man up. That's how the NFL works. If the Dolphins were in the same situation, which we are, mind you, we have a backup right tackle playing against Von Miller and Gregory Rousseau. We're fine.
Like, that's not easy.
I'm not making an excuse there. He's going to have to go out and he's going to have to play his balls off to protect Tua. That's one of my major key points, which we'll get to in a bit. But it is what it is, man. Injuries happen, and it is what it is. You can't make excuses. When the Dolphins win this game, it'll be because they were the better team on the football field, point blank. And Smoke already brought it up. How do you stop Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle with that much lack of talent?
How about experience?
That's what it is.
Even experience,
talent. It's all of it. I mean, it would be something if we were lining up for our last year's team and we had like Devontae Parker and Matt Collins. It'd be like, word, now these guys maybe can get open a little bit because they're not going up against anyone. Tyreek and Jalen are killing any and every one, point blank. Yep. Doesn't matter who you are. First team All-Pro, Pro Bowl, don't care. Well, now they're playing rookies? Good fucking luck, brother. And the genius that is Mike McDaniel, you don't think he's salivating, ready to get these guys the ball, man? We're going to get into the game a lot more, but I just see Mike McDaniel absolutely master-classing this game into getting the balls into his playmakers, and let's get drunk off the fucking yak, baby. Tyreek said it. Let's get drunk off the yak, baby.
I'm hearing a lot of Jalen Waddle. True. I'm hearing a lot of Tyreek Hill. True. I'm hearing a lot of Mike McDaniel.
You got to bring up Chase Edmonds?
True. No.
Oh, Mike is sick.
Because do you know who's on the cusp of superstardom? If he's not already, based on his social media following and the polarizing figure that he is, Tua Tagovailoa, baby. Woo! Because I hear you guys talking, oh, Jalen Waddle's gonna cook. Tyreek Hill's gonna cook. Tua's gonna fucking cook. That's what I'm hearing. This secondary, they're gonna cook. Wrist. Ice in my fucking veins, baby. I love that fucking clip. He's dancing off the field, ice in his fucking veins. Because who's gonna get the ball to Tyreek Hill? Who's gonna get the ball to Jalen Waddle? Tua fucking Tagovailoa. And I'm excited for him because guess what? If he goes out there and we beat the Bills and he has a good game, he is a undoubted superstar.
Bro.
Sorry, when? Sorry, when?
It's inevitable.
When? He will be a superstar. Madden will be calling his name. Madden will say, fuck, we need to get this guy up to a 90. They won't because they hate the Dolphins. But everyone will be talking about Tua Tagovailoa, and everyone will be talking about Miami. So Tua, I want a big game. Obviously, they have a good pass rush, but we know your footwork's elite. That's one of his elite traits. Yep. Let's see that go to work, man. Because, again, I'm with you guys. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are going to be the guys with the perimeter speed to defeat this Buffalo Bills team. But guess who has to get them the ball? Tua Tagovailoa. And, again, like I said, he's on the cusp of superstardom. Truly being up there with the big boys. Heading into week 3, being up there with the MVP
Buffalo,
candidates.
He's up there.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Being up there with MVP candidates. Being up there with he's a franchise quarterback. I just said that. If he beats the Bills and it's a clean game, when he beats the Bills and it's a clean game, he will be a franchise quarterback because they're trying to discredit a 6-touchdown game. I don't know how you do that, to be honest. I don't get that. But if he goes out there and
when we beat Buffalo, you're 100% right. Like, we have our franchise guy.
Franchise quarterback.
I 100,000% agree with you.
I
want to say this, though. I don't think Tua is better than Josh Allen. I want to make that clear. I think Josh Allen is a tremendous talent, okay?
Yeah.
He is not better than Josh Allen, but I think Tua can be great. With that being said, I think it's very reasonable to think that Tua will have a better statistical game than Josh Allen this Sunday. When you just look at everything that's available, obviously our biggest concern is Greg Little, but if he holds up, I mean, Tua, Tyreek, Jalen, Cedric, Gesicki going up against his banged up secondary, I love our chances. And look, I'm not scared of Buffalo. I know Josh Allen is 7-1 against the Miami Dolphins, and that's fair. Like, we've got our asses whipped, no doubt about it. Last time we played them in Buffalo, the score was 10-3 in the fourth quarter with the team where Matt Collins was wide receiver 2 and Isaiah Ford is coming across the middle, dropping passes. You're not playing Isaiah Ford. You're not playing Matt Collins. This is not the same Dolphins team that you got to bend over and whip. It's not the same. And I don't even think they're respecting us. I think they might be resting these players.
You're not playing the same Tua Tagovailoa either. Let me put that out there too. This is not the same quarterback that we've seen from the last few years. After the Patriots game, people were saying this is the same guy. Those throws that he made in the Ravens game, he was not making last year. Dude, there's a throw to Jalen Waddle where it's anticipation all the way, and he hits him, but he stops him up so he doesn't get clobbered in the middle of the field. I know you know the throw I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's elite. Oh, yeah. That is an elite accuracy. That's elite trait, and he doesn't get Waddle killed. It's beautiful to watch.
And let me just add to Tua being like what Tua is I think a lot of people are also thinking, and I believe me, I have my little doubts. There's that little part in the back of my head where it's like, is it going to be old Tua? Like, was that an aberration? Was that a one-time deal? And then you start kind of looking at what Tua's been doing. He's 38 of 50 on non-play action throws, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, 9.9 yards per attempt. On third down, which is the most important down, you have to get that first down. Tua is 17 for 21, 4 touchdowns, 10.8 yards per attempt, 151 rating. That is ridiculous numbers. That isn't fake. That isn't fugazi. You can't just kind of luck your way into doing that kind of shit. Tua has been taking care of the football. He's been tremendously sort of taking care of the football. We want to take that next step. But he's been efficient with the ball. He's been getting it out quick, and he's been getting it to his playmakers, which I absolutely fucking love to see. And Jay's right, man. Jay is ripping it to a T. Everyone, Tua is so polarizing. If you say he's
he doesn't even use social media like that. This man uses social media to post his advertisements, and then the whole world just talks about him 24/7.
Yeah,
you're right. He's one of the most polarizing players in the league right now.
Like, you could have someone tweet out that Tua is the best quarterback in the league. You could have someone tweet out Tua is not one of the best 40 quarterbacks in the league. Like, that's how it goes. Like, he's so polarizing. No one can make their mind up. But all of a sudden, you go out and you beat Buffalo with a good performance, like we've said in the past. Not winning in spite of Tua, winning because of Tua. This is the new Dolphins. Winning because of Tua. Tua is the reason we win games. If he goes out, when he goes out and does that this week, people are going to have to start respecting him, putting some goddamn respect on Uno's name, that he is the real deal. And I've loved everything I've seen this year. There's no reason to doubt him at this point. After what we saw last week, anything's possible. KG voice. We're ready to go, man. We're fucking fired up. I can't wait. There's so much to get into with this game, man.
Back to Josh Allen real quick. Like I said, tremendous talent. 7-1 against the Dolphins. Last time we played them in Buffalo was 10-3 in the fourth quarter. But I want to take you guys back to the last time that Josh Allen played in Miami. 17 of 33, 179 yards, and an interception. That was Josh Allen's stat line the last time that he played in Miami. We lost that game 35-0. Tua broke his ribs on the second play. The offense was absolute dog water. Jacoby Brissett, terrible. The offensive scheme last year was horrendous. I mean, you want to talk about, when a kid's dad wants to be the head coach for a flag football team, so like his son could be the quarterback or whatever, and like he's just drawing up plays on a whiteboard, and you just know this shit is not going to work. That's what the Miami Dolphins offense was last year. It was horrendous. It was dog water. We were calling wide receiver screens on our own 1 yard line for safeties. It's a mess. It's completely day and night. It is day and night, completely different offense. And I'm telling you, man, I believe, I think it's a known fact. I think everyone here knows it. We have the offense that could score on this Buffalo Bills team. This is not the same offense from last year where the defense is on the field for 95% of the game and the offense has 0 points. It was 10-3 in Buffalo in the fourth quarter. We had an opportunity to be up at halftime, blew it. And then Josh Allen goes out there with a stat line like that, and you're telling me the offense puts up 0 points? 0 points? This is not the same team. It's not the same team, man. And when Micah Hyde's not playing, and you're starting your third and fourth string corners against Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle in this offense, and especially Mike McDaniel. I mean, this guy's his schemes are disgusting.
It's crazy.
All that pre-snap motion,
guru.
If you don't communicate properly, you're going to get busted coverages. You're going to look like the Ravens. People think like that just happened because we got lucky. When you're absolutely lost and you have no idea what an offense is doing and they're running around pre-snap motion and you don't know what your assignment is, that's us creating the defensive breakdown because of the scheme, the play calling, the routes, and the players that we have. You want to double Tyreek? Fine. Here comes Waddle. Here comes Secchi. Here comes Wilson. Like the talent's there, and I don't want to just keep slobbing us because Buffalo is a fantastic team. I just want to let everyone know, especially if you're a Bills fan watching, this is not the same team that you're just going to come in here and smack us. It's not going to happen. And look, I hear you. Well, you say this every year. It's your year. It's your year. It's your year. Granted, that's fair. The first 4 weeks, we always do say that. I will give you that.
That's just being a
fan.
But
I have never in my life had an all-pro left tackle. Tyreek Hill, top 5 player in the NFL, top 10. Jalen Waddle coming into a sophomore season.
Top 10
Tua
receiver.
actually looking good. An offensive-minded head coach that can scheme players open, and we don't have to run RPO and wide receiver screens on the 1-yard line. This is not the same team. This is going to be a dogfight. And I don't want anyone to get this confused that I just think we're going to go out there and steamroll Buffalo. Like, I don't see us going out there beating Buffalo by 30 points, 25 points. No. I believe we are going to win this game, but I want to make it very, very clear that this is not some Miami Dolphins team that you're going to come into our house and just whip our ass. That ain't happening this year, brother. That is not happening this year. And if that does happen, I'll put my foot in my mouth and I'll shut up the rest of the year.
No, facts, bro. You got to hold the team accountable. We're going to hold them accountable one way or the other. If we go out and win this game, you know what that fucking means. We're going to be a force to be reckoned with. If we go out and compete in this game and lose, we'll give you our honest feedback. If we go out and get blown out, you're going to see a sad sack of shit on Monday and a bunch of depressed Dolphins fans in this motherfucker. Yep. So we're going to keep it a buck with you at all times. Are we coming off a little confident right now? Sure. But is there any reason why we shouldn't be at this point? I mean, right. Smoke just touched on it. Mike McDaniel is calling the best offense in the NFL. Genius. Everyone wants to just be like, oh, well, we got McVay's quarterback coach, Kevin O'Connell, and we get fucked by the Eagles. Oh, we got who's the Packers coach? He runs McVay's. Everyone just tries to be like a little McVay copycat, lookalike. Dude, what McDaniel's doing is insane. He's getting playmakers the ball in their hands with space so they can go make a play. When you see a busted coverage, sure, there might be one or two here or there, but some of those busted coverages are because McDaniel is putting in a scheme where he's motioning. He's using concepts that are just beating defenses point blank. So I've never been, like Smoke said, this confident going into a Buffalo week, and that says a lot. Because usually in a Buffalo week, I shut my fucking mouth. I monitor social media barely, and I hope to God that we are respectable so that when I go out in Rochester with a Dolphin shirt on, I don't get spit on by the local fucking idiots around here. So I have a bit of confidence. That's never there. And shout out to this Dolphins team, McDaniel, Tua, all the boys for putting it there. Now this week, it has to prove something because this will actually prove to me that we are not only good but elite. If you beat Buffalo, the Super Bowl favorite, that the team that's already crowned, they're like minus what to win the AFC East. They already gave it to them. The Dolphins didn't have a chance. You go out and win this game, you show me that you're an elite goddamn team, and I can get behind that for the whole entire year, man.
I want to touch on this creating offense point because it's true. People are giving credit to the Ravens for busting coverage.
Facts,
we created that, and what Smoke said is so true. With Mac Hollins and Isaiah Ford, that coverage is not busted. With the offense we had last year where we ran no pre-snap motion and while I was running hooks and curls for some goddamn reason, there is no busted coverage. We have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, okay? And we have Mike McDaniel having guys, like Smoke said, running across the field. You have no idea what the fuck we're doing. Shit, we don't even know what we're doing sometimes, it feels like. So how are you going to know? Because this offense is different. Tua is different. Mike McDaniel is different. This team is different. This is not the same team that are going to come in and steamroll us. And by the way, that last year team, like Smoke said, that was such a winnable game. But our offense did zilch, nada, nothing, just nothing.
Nathaniel, absolutely
nothing.
You
think that this offense is going to do nothing? What we just did against the Ravens team? You think this offense is going to do nothing? And by the way, the defense is still there. Yes, they had a tough week last week. That happens for all defenses. The defense is
great
still
point. Great point. Let me add on that. I know you're on a rant, but like I've had this in my fucking head for 10 minutes and I got to get it out. So everyone wants to discredit Tua, right? Because he had one good quarter. Everyone's, it was one good quarter. Well, now everyone wants to say our defense is dog shit because they had one bad quarter. They didn't give up any points in the first quarter. That was special teams. Gave up 21 points in the second quarter. Probably the worst quarter the Miami Dolphins defense has ever played in the history of the last 2 years, okay? And then only gave up 10 points in the second half. And they gave up only 7 points to the Patriots week 1. So come on, bro.
You don't think Xavier's seen the film? You don't think Xavier just had one of his worst games? Which, by the way,
heard Madison too.
I don't want to say that. Like, I don't want to be that guy. You take away that 175-yard play, he still had a decent game. He almost had a pick 6 too. And again, I still think that's one of Xavier's worst games as an NFL cornerback. So what do you think he's gonna do? What do you think all these guys are going to do? I want to see more from Jalen Phillips. I want to see a lot from Josh Boyer here. I want to see some crazy shit. I'll be honest. I don't want to see, listen, put more guys on the line scrimmage. That's cool. But I want to see some crazy shit, man. I want to see something that we've never seen before. And speaking on that point, that is what I want to see from Mike McDaniel because he's getting guys open. Dude, I feel like Mike McDaniel's just been saving stuff for this Bills game. He knows how much this means. You can tell in the offseason the way he was talking. He knows what this stuff means to us.
He probably got hired. He probably got hired for this game. He got hired obviously because of Tua. But okay, because Stephen Ross obviously isn't the best communicator. He would have never hired Brian Flores, the one coach that isn't willing to tank. Whatever. But I think they learned from that mistake. And when McDaniel came in, he said, okay, can you coach Tua and get him right? The answer to that was yes. Here's my plan. Can you beat Buffalo? We need to beat Buffalo. And I'm sure he probably gave him a whole game plan, a whole shebang. Because remember, he was interviewing for 7, 8, 9 hours at a time. This game has been circled, not just on my calendar, not just on Bobby's calendar, not just on Jay's calendar, but this whole team's calendar since Josh Allen was waving at us goodbye the last time we played them in Buffalo. This is a revenge game. And yes, this might sound depressing. This is the biggest game in the last 20 years. We've been to 2 playoff games. We got blown out in both of them. This is a game where when we win, it changes the trajectory of your entire franchise, your fan base. It changes everything overnight. Tua, franchise quarterback. Miami Dolphins, Super Bowl contenders. That's what's at stake. I know the injury report's bad, but you beat Buffalo. You beat this juggernaut at home. Super Bowl champs, remember? They're already Super Bowl champs. It's week 2, but everyone's calling them Super Bowl champs. You win this game on Sunday, you change everything.
And I don't want to hear shit from the national media, the defense, because they're talking about the Ravens busting coverage, all this stuff, how they don't have a secondary. I don't want to hear shit from the media about Buffalo's injuries. We have injuries too, like Bobby said. It's not an excuse. If Josh Allen is on that field and that offense is on that field and still their front 7 is still on that field, if this Buffalo team is as good as it is, it should be able to withstand that. So that's not an excuse. And again, Xavier has a groin injury. Byron Jones isn't even playing. Eye for an eye. Trey White. Again, I'll never wish for injuries, but that's eye for an eye. Our left tackle has a toe injury.
Almost an eye for an eye. It's like an eye for a nose. If Xavier wasn't playing, I'd say it's an eye for an eye.
Right. No, but you know what I mean. Starting cornerback type thing.
Right. I hear you.
But still, I don't want to hear any excuses because that's all we're doing. A 21-point comeback in the fourth quarter with 6 touchdowns is getting discredited. So we can't have that. And the way to silence the haters on this is to beat Buffalo. And I can't wait. By the way, if they do try to discredit it, just laugh. Don't engage with it, by the way. Just as a heads up for all the fans watching. Don't engage.
You know what I'll do? You know what I'll do when they discredit us? Hey, Siri, who's the best team in football? Oh, you better speak, bitch. But she got to answer right, though. She didn't say it, but she got to answer right. Why is she speaking?
She's a little timid.
Even Siri.
Siri got camera shy.
Crazy.
Damn.
Do you want to say it? But that's because she's just waiting for us to beat the Bills. But again, I just don't want to hear any excuses. And again, for the fans out there, don't engage with these talk shows. I don't watch them anyway, but don't engage with them because that's what they're looking for. That's what they're fishing for. Don't give it to them.
Yeah.
When we win this game, I just said, when we win this game, we will be on the top of the fucking world. The top of the NFL, the top of the league. We'll be favorites. Tua will be crowned. And again, we still have a lot of the season to go, but we beat Buffalo. You think we're losing to the fucking Jets? You think we're losing to the Lions, the Texans? Wait, listen, we'll probably lose. Listen, you're going to lose a game.
Well, any given Sunday now, 1 week at a time, 1 week at a time.
Yeah, this is something you
look. In my mind, when we beat Buffalo, we're already going to Super Bowl. But like, I'm not going down week by week because I'll just say we're going to go undefeated. But what I am going to do, I'm going to send the link to the stream. If you guys want to hop up on here and get fired up with the Fired Up Friday crew, the link is in the chat. You guys want to come up on here. Let us know if you're a Bills fan. We're here for all the smoke. Jeff B said, you dudes need to stop. Bills Mafia. Nah, you need to stop, brother.
Pop in,
you need
Jeff.
To stop.
Pop
you
in,
need
Jeff.
To stop.
But
Come on now.
I have another point that we haven't talked about at all today, and I do think it's important, and I think it's kind of going under the radar. The Dolphins need to run the ball efficiently in this game.
Amen.
I know that the Bills have a great run-stopping team. They have Derrick Henry, the fucking GOAT running back. Maybe not Jonathan Taylor, but Derrick Henry. We know about Derrick Henry. Beast.
Monster.
Has been doing his thing. Bill shut his ass down. So the Bills have a stout run D. That we can't get gun shy though. We have to keep it somewhat balanced. We have to run that ball efficiently, 4 yards a carry, and we have to pick our spots. Because if we all of a sudden go into a mentality where we're throwing 3 downs and the Bills know that they can pin their ears back and rush on us, it's bad news bears. So we need to be able to establish that run to keep that pass rush at bay a little bit. Because like I said earlier, dude, the Bills don't blitz a lot. They rush 4, and they've been very successful with it. So if we can at least neutralize that a little bit with some runs, some screens, some short, quick hitters to make those DNs think twice about getting upfield so hard, it's going to be a different game. So that's one of my very huge key points. We don't need to go out and have a 100-yard rusher. Like I don't need Mostert or Edmonds to go for 100. I'd love them to, believe me. But it's efficiency, it's running it in the right spots, and it's being able to move that football and keep a defense honest. So that was another point I wanted to bring up because I feel like no one's really talking about that.
TL Berto. There's no way I said that right. No shot.
No shot.
Bruto.
Well, welcome to the channel.
No shot.
What's going on, man? I am telling you right now, I think the screen game, I'm good. I think the screen game is going to be the run game. I think the Bills are so bad at covering the screen.
They are. And
that slows down a pass rush. You do the screen game, by the time the third, fourth quarter hits around, that's when you go over the top because the defense is tired.
Right.
Great point.
Well, here's the thing. I think Buffalo's run game is also like they run a lot of like 3-yard hitch routes. Like that's them running the football because they can't run the football at all. They don't know if Singletary's a guy. They don't know if they want to play Cook or Zach Moss. They do a lot of the same things. They run a lot of bubble screens, 2-yard hitches. That's their run game. But I agree with you. I mean, with the inexperience they have at corner, and now
the lack of depth in our heat with our heat, you know, it's going to kill them later on in the game. And the screen game also does one other thing. It keeps Josh Allen on the sideline.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why we either have to run the football like that or, like you said, screen
quick
game.
Hitters.
But we have to win time of possession.
Who's making tackles other than Jordan Poyer if he plays. Who's making tackles? Because Kyle Duggar was a fucking animal.
Milano's good.
No, I'm talking about on the outside. I'm talking about on the outside on these bubble screens. Who's making tackles?
Von Miller could get out there.
Because without Tre'Davious White, they don't have like a big again other than Jordan Poyer.
I mean, they haven't had him though. They haven't had Tre'Davious White, and their defense has been phenomenal.
I tell you what. That other big loss is what's the defensive lineman who was just now ruled out?
Ed Oliver.
That's huge. Yeah, that was big time.
That is huge.
Definitely.
Sad. Obviously, we don't wish for injuries, but huge.
But you know what? You know what? This is Buffalo's way. I think they were scared. In their own way, they're scared. You know, they have a couple people out. This is their built-in excuse. Oh, this is why we lost.
They're already they're preparing for the loss.
you're out your corners. You know what Miami can do with the receivers.
Facts.
Because think about. Remember when Noah started against Diggs?
Against Stephon Diggs. It's a revenge game for all Dolphin fans.
Dude,
I'll never
am
forget
telling
Noah's
you right
first
now,
start against Stephon Diggs. We got
I want Noah on the sideline in street clothes laughing, saying that's what I went through my first game at their corner. With Tyreek and Waddle doing the same thing.
They can dap each other up at Wendy's.
Kohler, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you, TL or Berta. There's no way I'm going to get that right.
I think it's Labruto, dude. Labruto.
It's Todd Labruto. He's a regular over our neck of the woods too. But I couldn't believe. I'm like, wow, Smokes is dropping a link, and I'm never going to miss my opportunity to come up and say hi to you guys, man. How's it going?
Sir.
We appreciate you, Color, bro.
You gotta lend me Bobby one night if I ever need a fill-in for my show, because he could literally emulate me as color commentary on my show. So
it's gonna run you $11.50 an hour.
Yeah, so I got a big rate, dude. I got a big rate. Smoke's paying me well over here.
Right on. So either case, I really think, I mean, God, there's so many dynamics in this game. I have a feeling it really is starting to feel like the Bills are shutting it down, if you ask me, because
it is.
I mean, and I didn't mean to be funny about my prediction about Josh Allen going down with some kind of mysterious finger injury early on, but I mean the deck is starting to get stacked, and when you're talking about the heat of Miami, probably going to be some rain. I mean, I'm calling for remember what we saw against Philadelphia in preseason right off the bat.
Yeah.
First play of the game. I'm calling for a big play like that first play of the game, except it's going to be Mostert off tackle for a run to the house.
I would absolutely love to see McDaniels drop his nuts all over everyone. Like first play of the game, deep shot. I know you said Mostert outside run, but I would feel some type of way at first play. McDaniel calls up this bomb, and we just take the top off.
And that's the
absolutely
thing.
Take the top off.
That's the thing.
That would change the aurora in the stadium.
Right, exactly. The non-Galaxy brain take would be exactly what you said. Like, look, they got two unknown DBs. Tyreek is faster than one of them. I think we saw film of the guy trying to cover Tyreek on another team.
Yeah.
And it's there. So just like with that game in Philadelphia, it's there. Just take it and show them you can do it right off the bat. And what can they do? Got it 2 men high, whatever. Just Tyreek will just burn them all. You know what I mean? So.
In Color, I think you made a good point about that off tackle to start the game. I think the Dolphins are due for a home run.
I think so too. I think we actually got that in the last game.
Yeah,
the Edmonds run going to the house. You know what I mean? Exactly. And it ended up being just as important as what that was in the third quarter, like that, or late. When you really need it, you had to get something like that. And I also noticed a difference last week when we started to move the ball. It seemed like even on the long stuff, we had no problem executing. Tua looked relaxed, not just walking up to the line, but like during the play, during his back.
No, I didn't see much happy feet.
He's just relaxing, and it's like, look, and I'll be with you guys because it's Friday now. When we see Tua bring that to the table on Sunday, I just don't understand how we don't roll the Buffalo Bills, given all things the way they are.
Here's the thing: the Irish, they have my utmost respect, and I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to roll them when we're 1-7 against them. But I do believe this unit is different. I truly believe that this unit is different. And I know we say that every single year, but like you said, I mean, with everything that's gone out, we don't root for injuries, obviously. But I see the Bills fan in here. What's his name? Jeff. He goes, well, how are you going to score on the number one defense? Well, when Jordan Phillips isn't playing, Ed Oliver isn't playing, Micah Hyde isn't playing, Dane Jackson isn't playing. That's 4 starters right there. And you want to come up on here and you think you're just going to guard Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Mike Gesicki, Cedric Wilson, and then our offensive line, for what it's been the last 10 years, this is probably the best one that we've had. I know it's early. I know it's early.
Unicorns.
I know it's early. I know it's early, obviously, but like Tua has time to throw. Like
yeah, and that's the thing. I think the real key is just exploit what their problems are right now. Get the ball in the hands of your fastest guys as soon as possible. That's all you got to do to win this game. Because when it comes down to it, even if it comes down to Josh Allen running all over the field and keeping up for his team, Dan Marino
he's going to get his though. I think
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And if he's going to do that and he's going to elevate his team Dan Marino style, then it's going to come down to which of these two defenses can last and can endure in the South Florida heat. And I'm going to go with our defense in that situation every single time. I know I was joking about my score prediction, but I got us winning 42-41. We've put up 42 points last week. They put up 41. Let's call that the score right now.
I think I would have a stroke at the stadium. I think
guys, I might die on stream. Like that might happen. Like that might not. Oh no. Okay.
I don't think people understand like what would happen after the game or what will happen after the game when we win.
That's
like,
the other
you want
thing.
to talk about like a strip club outside of the stadium. It is going to be a movie. A Tarantino film outside of the stadium.
I was thinking like Spartacus, Bringer of Rain. Like as soon as Tua throws the game-winning touchdown, a couple drops start hitting the field, and then more starts coming, and then girls start taking their shirts off in the stands. You know what I mean? And everybody's dancing in slow motion. You know, that's what I'm talking about.
By the way, if you're gonna be at the game, I know Smoke you are. I already tweeted at you. Go fucking nuts, dude. We need the fans going crazy. We've said it the whole time.
If there's one guy you don't need to tell, it's
no. But I need Smoke. I need you getting everyone else. I need you riling up. I need you to put the leadership.
Dude, there's like 75,000 people. I tried my best.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to be at the game, and I'm going to tell you this. If for those of you that aren't old enough, and there's a lot of you in the fan base that aren't old enough now, you have never experienced what our stadium is going to be like Sunday.
You're giving me chills.
I can bet you that.
You're giving me chills, bro.
The only thing that's going to suck is there's going to be too many Bills fans. Well,
I doubt it. The way that season ticket sales went.
They travel.
Especially to Miami.
I think we've broken the New England block. I was at the New England
game. We did break the New England block. I mean, it was better. There's still a lot of Pat fans, but they don't have Tom Brady, you know?
Well,
like the Bills have Josh Allen. They have this juggernaut team.
But there again, look, if let's say whether we lose competitively, whether we get smashed, how is it going to, like you guys said, we're 1-7 against them. How is our Monday going to be different than any other Monday against them? But if we win and they lose, how is it going to be for them? Besides the fact that we'll be a game plus a tiebreaker ahead of them in the East. And, given Kansas City, win or lose, we'll still be ahead of them because we've got a conference game on them.
Yep.
I mean, look, it is what it is. And as far as backing up the stats, backing up Tua now as opposed to last year, as far as backing up the idea of giving him credit, it is what it is. 2-game sample size or not, it's not Josh Allen's name that's at the top of the list. It's Tua's. And so here's the thing. Tua is the number 1 quarterback in the league right now on the number 1 team in all of the AFC. Okay.
And if you would have told me that 3 months ago, I would have said you're smoking crack rocks.
If you'd have told me that at any point in Tannehill's career, I would say the same thing. Okay. So look, it is what it is. And for those that want to crap on that by saying it's a 2-game sample size, like I said, it ain't Josh Allen's name on there. He's number 4. So I'll leave you guys with that. I got to run. I got to get over to Publix and get some water because, no problem, man.
Publix over Wegmans, always appreciate.
Well, and there's like a run on water right now because they got the cone over us for that storm.
They don't know how it goes down.
I know, but it's like you either get it now or you don't get it all in case they are right about the cone. You know what I mean?
You're right.
But it's 6 days out. Whatever.
Facts.
But it should make for some rain and some sweltering heat on Sunday. So
that's for sure.
Amen.
Thank you, Cole.
All right, buddy. Appreciate you, Kohler.
Yep, you guys.
By the way, it's really funny when you talk about Wegmans and Publix because I have no idea what that is. Like, that's just not like I'm assuming they're grocery stores. I'm assuming because I know Publix kind of. It's like
they're literally just grocery stores.
Yeah.
But I have a question. I've been waiting all week to ask you guys this because I'm in a conundrum and I don't know how I'm supposed to act. You know how we've talked about it on this show. As a fan of a team, you have to do your part. You have to act the same, be the same. Whenever you get a win, you stay on the same traditions. When you get a loss, you change it up. Well, last week, I did what I did week 1. I put my Tua jersey on. I put the hat on. I put the shorts on. Same business as usual. Game 2, I did the same thing. At halftime, I went upstairs. I took it all off. I made the change of clothing. I changed.
This is a great question. Oh my God.
We came back and we won the game.
Yep.
What outfit do I start out with this game with? Is it
whatever you wore in the first half, you do not wear.
No, but here's the thing. Wait. Here's the thing, because I have the same thing as Bobby, because I actually saw with Cameron Sparks on Twitter. Yes, and you can find the tweet. I replied to Cameron Sparks. Basically, obviously, I'm wearing the Jarvis jersey. I wear the hat, right? And I wore this during the Patriots when we smacked them, right? So I wore it again. Obviously, we didn't do that well at halftime. I switched to the Blue Jay shirt, the Raptors hat. Then we start going. So here's my thing. Do I just wear the Blue Jays shirt and the hat the whole time because that's when we play good?
You just need more Dolphins gear. Like
that's you. I get the Tua jerseys coming. The Tua jerseys coming, and then also and then also
like you need to go to like a thrift shop and just buy as much Dolphin shit for $5 as you can.
But then do I wear the Jarvis jersey and hat until we start playing bad and then I switch, or do I just go with the like? This is the question.
I got the same question, dude.
Whatever you wore in the first half, you do not wear ever again, period. Whatever you ride the hot hand. Perfect Q's an idiot. That's the dumbest
We're just trying to do our part.
Determine the outcome of the game. I changed that halftime. What happened in the second half? Bobby changed that halftime. What happened in the second half? Jay changed that halftime. What happened in the second half? That's a collective unit. That's
the second half fit
data. All had the same exact result. Period. End of story. It's conclusive. It's definitive.
That's fair.
Whatever you wore the first half,
perfect.
Do not ever wear again. You can't. You can't. You physically can't.
The Blue Jay shirt is going down in lore on my channel, man. People are talking about in the comments. I was like, a special shirt. It's really funny, actually.
Bro, Smoke had the special shirt of the year last year with the Chris Greer for Prison. When you get something that works, you wear it, you commit to it, and you don't change. So that's why I just had to clear the air. It's second half apparel from last week. We start with that. If shit goes wrong, you change again. As a fan, just like McDaniel did in the locker room, you go and you make adjustments. And when you're sitting on the couch, there's not many adjustments you can make. Maybe you change what you're eating, you change what you're wearing, you change the seat you're sitting in. But once you find what works, you stick to it. So I'm glad we had this conversation. It's been
now I know what I need to do.
It's been in my head all week, and I've been waiting to ask you. I'm glad you brought that up
because we have to do our part. We have to do our part. Jeff, this guy Jeff is smoking crack. First of all, I appreciate you for being here. I want to make that very, very clear. He says, do you dudes realize Josh can control this game with short passes, make Tua wait to get the ball, and then put the number one defense on the field? We could do the same thing on offense. We are literally going to do the same thing. We're going to run the ball, throw short passes, and make your third and fourth string cornerbacks and your backup safety try to make tackles in the open field up against probably the number one wide receiver duo in the NFL at the moment. And another thing, your number one defense is not healthy. You are missing 4 to 5 starters on your number one defense.
One of the best safeties in the league. One of the best safeties in the league.
You're missing your play caller, your communicator. You are missing 4 very, very good starters. Very, very good starters. They're not playing. That number one defense that you saw the first 2 weeks not playing. You play the Tennessee Titans. They don't have the playmakers that we have. You beat the shit out of the Rams. I mean, that's a Super Bowl hangover. I bet on the Bills week 1 to win. They're supposed to win that game. You guys are on your revenge tour. But don't act like we can't do the same thing with you. Don't act like you're going up against the same team. And then he says, what do we have on defense? Bro, what do you have on defense? Our front seven's healthy. Xavier Howard's a top 5 corner in the NFL. We had the argument top 2, but after last week, I can't put him at top 2. We got cooked. But he's great. Javon Holland, do you know who he is? Do you know who Brandon Jones is? Do you know who Jalen Phillips is? Christian Wilkins is? Emmanuel Ogbah, Zach Sealer. Do you know these guys? Or are you just talking out of your ass?
Now, to be fair, but hopefully he'll put his name out there. I will say though, speaking on that point, that we can do the same. I saw on Twitter ESPN Club, because again, I don't watch it like myself. They said, what happens to Tua if you take the big play away? Well, guess what, motherfuckers? This dude is so accurate in the intermediate short part of the field. What do you think he's going to do? He's going to be ripping it. 2 seconds or less, ripping it. Tyreek Waddle, ripping it. Doesn't matter. Even if they get pressure, ripping it. Screen, slant, crosser. Fuck, man. I'm so excited to see Tua go crazy, man. Let's go. And this is a game where, again, I want to get back to it 45 minutes in. This puts us on another level. And guess what? Like Smoke said, how Miami's not the biggest sports town. This puts us on the map for everyone.
Miami's
and guess what?
a sports town when they're good.
And guess what?
That's the thing. Because
we roll
like,
right into Cincinnati on Thursday night football. National.
When your team sucks down here, you just go to the beach, you go to the club, like you, like life. I mean, not me. I'm just like the general like casual.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I live in Miami. Like the Dolphins suck. Cool. I'll just go to 11 on Sunday instead of going to the game. But when you live in Rochester and you have literally nothing else to do except go watch the Bills play, like your life revolves around that team. And I'll give them credit. Like they've had nothing going on there the last 20 years. They've never won a Super Bowl. And they sell that place out every single year. So I tip my cap. I respect their fans, although they're obviously assholes to Dolphin fans. I mean, you don't respect them. No, but in a sick, twisted way, I do respect them because like that's the type of fan I am. Like I wish our Dolphin fans were as ignorant to like away teams in a sense. That's just how that's how competitive I get as a fan. It's a sickness. It's not good for the world. It's just the world that I would want to live in. You know, and that's why I like the Eagles. 100%. Like that's if I was never a Dolphins fan,
I love it.
I wish I was born a Philadelphia Eagles fan, just because like they love the Eagles. They're the scum of the earth, but they bleed for that team, and like that's how I am with the Dolphins. You know, so obviously
that's on point.
I don't promote being a scumbag on day-to-day life, but like when you're in the stadium and like they're chirping you and you're just not clapping back and you're not about action, like I have a problem with that.
No, and Smoke, I agree with you, bro. I'll just never give them credit. I will never say I respect them, like them. I'll never say a good word about them. But I know exactly what you mean, bro. When you're in the heart of battle, you go to battle. You go to war. You do anything you can for that football team to show your support for that football team, to show your love. It just comes pouring out of you. That's how that shit works. But just to build to Jay's point really quick, how he just brought up, like if they want to try and sit back and limit Tyreek and Jalen, if that's their strategy, don't get beat deep, keep everything in front of you because we play this zone all day. Perfect, beautiful, lovely. Because that's what Tua throws best, is that quick, short to intermediate route. And then what happens? I said it at the beginning of the show. It's how I started my first thing I said all day. You get drunk off the yak. Our guys want the ball in their hand short. They want to be the guy that makes the move and goes for 80. Like, they love that shit. That's what I love so much about this receiving core. It's like, oh, you're going to take the deep throw away? That's fine. I'll catch the ball 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, beat you, and then take that bitch to the house. So I really think that's one of our monster mashups, is just how much we're able to put your mouthpiece in. I don't even know what that means, Jeff. I'll fuck your ass up, though. Keep talking that shit, boy. Keep talking that shit. You're from Buffalo. I'm from Rochester. Holler at me. You know my Twitter is right there. Come find me, Jeff. Pussy ass.
That was fantastic.
Jeff, pussy ass.
That could be a 6-year-old guy. That could be a 12-year-old guy.
Oh my God, that's great. Oh my, that made my day. I'm good. I'm good. I would end the show there, but we can't. We got way too much to get into.
Smells like shit. You could already tell. He smells like complete and utter shit. Fucking loser. And thank you for coming to watch, but fuck you. Straight up.
Respectfully.
Fuck you.
Oh, man. All right. So, obviously, we've talked about the Miami Dolphins. We've talked about our benefits and what we're going to be able to do and maybe things we're not going to be able to do. I do have one concern, and it's something I'm looking forward to see how it plays out, is Greg Little. I think he's going to have to play the game of his life because I know Ed Oliver's not playing. I know Jordan Phillips isn't playing, but Von Miller and Greg Russo, those guys are both still playing. They are both phenomenal players. And they have a hell of a head coach over there. Like, they are a well-oiled machine. Josh Allen's an absolute savage. But I think it's all going to come down to the trenches. Now, I think we have a huge advantage up there now because of the players that aren't playing. If you asked me that 3 days ago, probably would have leaned a little more towards Buffalo. But I just like this team at home. You know, I think we could have dug it out, figured it out. But right now, I think we have the advantage, you know, in the trenches with all those guys out. Because Teron Armstead, he's on the left side. I think it's all going to come down to Greg Little and how well he's able to play. What are you expecting from him? Do you think he's going to have a good enough day for the Miami Dolphins to win this game?
I mean, I do. What he showed me last game proves a lot. And all you are is as good as your last game. Yeah, Eichenberg as well, especially especially if Armstead's out, then all of a sudden everything gets crazy. Who knows where Eichenberg even plays? Someone's got to kick out to left tackle at that point. So I'm going to go off the assumption that, and I think all Dolphins fans should, Armstead never practices. He didn't practice before the season. He hasn't practiced in between either of the other games. He gets out there on Sunday. He shows the fuck up, and he shuts up whoever's coming off the left side of that defense, or the defense is right, whatever it would be. That's what he does. So I'm not worried about Armstead until he shows me otherwise that he's not going to get out there. And in the NFL, you're only as good as your last tape, as your last performance. And Little did what he had to do. He absolutely did what he had to do. I don't want to go as far as to say he was great. I think he was very solid, very good, and that's all we're going to ask for him. And if you think the coaches that aren't sitting in a room talking to each other saying, well, we have Greg Little on Von Miller, that's not a great matchup. They're going to come up with ways to help him out.
Right.
They're going to have
Alec Ingold.
They're going to have Ingold. They're going to have running backs staying in. Like we are going to have a scheme. But I 100% agree. Little has to stand up. He has to do exactly what he did last game. And if he does exactly that, we'll be all right. Might they get a few sacks? Sure. Maybe a few here or there. But I don't think it's going to be one of those old Dolphins games because when you used to watch the Dolphins offensive line and you'd watch the first quarter and on that first drive, they'd get like 2 sacks or like 2 pressures. You'd say, oh, shit, it's going to be a long day. We're going to have to figure out how to get the ball out faster, how to do all this other shit. No, I don't think it's not at that point yet. This offensive line is solid, and as long as Little keeps his part, and as long as Armstead plays, I think we're all right. Am I a little concerned? Am I a little worried? Am I going to be watching that? For sure. But am I shitting my pants about it? Definitely not. Not like years past, that's for sure.
The scheme, like you talked about, Mike McDaniel, the play action pass, the chipping, Alec Ingold, they're going to have help over there. So you got to count on Mike McDaniel to know. And again, if us three listen, we're just fans of the game. If we're talking about it, one of the best offensive minds in the entire NFL now, I'm willing to say, is seeing that too. So I have faith in this coaching staff to see that and kind of feel that out.
We got 103 people watching live. We got 37 likes. Hit that like button. I think it's like the most people we had. We almost peaked at like 110. That's a blessing, man. Like we started this channel a couple months ago. I can't believe we already have this many people. God bless all of you. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We got to hit that like button. Get that thing up. We only got 37 likes. Hit it. Help us grow. All right. So we just talked about Greg Little, obviously. What is the key to success of trying to contain Josh Allen? Because look, man, he's phenomenal. Obviously, he's phenomenal. Stephon Diggs. I love Stephon Diggs. I don't love him because he's
the
Bills,
only player I like.
As a fantasy owner, like I love having him on my football team, fantasy purposes, obviously. I think that's going to be a matchup nightmare. Now, last time he played, he only had like 60 yards. I know we have Xavier Howard, but we play a lot of man. And I mean, I know X is good, but Stephon Diggs, corner is one of the hardest positions to play. And when you got to play man on man against Stephon Diggs, that's a huge
one of, if not the best route runners in the NFL.
Yeah, man. I agree. What's the key to success to stopping or containing Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs?
For me, it starts with getting a pass rush, getting pressure, getting him in his face, getting him off his spots, making him move, which gets a little dangerous when he starts to move, but we have to make him uncomfortable. I'm looking at the defensive line as that's the number one unit I'm looking to take a step forward. The pressures aren't there. The sacks aren't there. Jalen Phillips hasn't been there. Van Ginkel, he's been recovering from what? He had an appendix out at the beginning of the year. He hasn't been right. I'm looking for this D-line to take a serious step forward. And once you can do that, then all of a sudden the game becomes a little easier because you got a quarterback that's off his spots. The timing's off. He's running for his life. He's worried about passes getting tipped in his face. And then from there, I need the linebackers to play well, man. I need it. Yep. I don't think we're going to go out and sit in a spy all game where one linebacker sits there and all his concern is Josh Allen. But I need them to at least be aware that, like, when you're in a man-to-man concept, like we always are, those man-to-man concepts lead for quarterbacks to be able to see, oh, shit, everyone's covered. This field's wide open. I can run and go get this first down with ease. I need some awareness from players. Step up, make a play, hit Josh Allen. Let's contain him. Let's limit it. Because Josh Allen, like we said, we've been confident Dolphins fans today. We're not cocky yet. We'll be cocky on Monday when we win, and it'll be deservedly so. But we've been confident Dolphins fans today. But Josh Allen's phenomenal. He's unbelievable. He's incredible. He is very, very good. And I'm not taking him lightly. And I do think that's one of the biggest points of this game is pressuring Josh Allen and then containing his legs because he does have that capability to burn us. So if we can do that,
here's the thing: like if Josh has all
play,
day, he's the type of guy that'll risk throw the ball 70 yards down the field.
Oh yeah, arm talent's crazy.
Like no one is ever at a question when that guy's back there in the pocket.
And just to add to that, I think I'm looking at 3 guys that have bounced back games from last games, especially in that first half, man. Xavier Howard, like we talked about, he needs to show up and shut up this, kind of people are talking about him now.
He needs
Obviously,
a big game.
He
needs a big game.
A guy who underratedly, and I'm the biggest fan of this guy, he's from Canada as well, Javon Holland. He wasn't taking the best angles to routes.
Holland's Canadian?
In the first half. Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir. He's Canadian,
Hell
baby.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You should have got his jersey. Like, how do you?
I'm getting his jersey too. Don't even trip. Even trip. It's coming.
Canada.
Don't even trip. But speaking of that, he didn't have the greatest first half. Like, he was taking bad routes to balls. If you saw, like, a lot of the throws that were between the tackles, the one to Demarcus Robinson or whatever his name is, the one to Devin Duvernay, you saw Holland was a little bit late. And that's never something you would ever see from Javon Holland. I need him to step up. And Brandon Jones, too, he got taken off the field because Mark Andrews was routing him up. So they got Eric Rowe in the game for Brandon Jones to try and cover him. So I'm looking for those of you guys to be very, very helpful. Obviously, Xavier Howard and Javon Holland more in coverage. But Brandon Jones has legs, man. He needs to be a guy coming off the edge. You need to use him as an inside-the-box safety. And he might be a big part of stopping Josh Allen because, unfortunately, Channing Tindall isn't ready yet. So that's why I'm excited from Brandon Jones and these guys. But Xavier Howard and Javon Holland have to be ready to be all over the field, shadow Stephon Diggs. And then also, Kader Kohu, you have to be ready to step up because Gabe Davis is not anything to play with. This guy is a monster. He's big.
He's a dog.
He's a run-block. He's a dog. Like, he's fantastic. You have to be able to cover him too. So even if we're clamping up Stephon Diggs, which obviously is hard, and I don't even expect that to happen for the majority of the game, just because Stephon Diggs is that good. That's just like, again, like Smoke said, the corner's the hardest position in the NFL. Like, it's tough. You have to contain Gabe Davis too. It's not like they just have nobody there. Like, listen, I love Isaiah McKenzie, but when he's wide receiver 2, you can handle that. This is Gabe Davis, who's a guy who is really, really good and showed a lot. And Josh Allen clearly likes him and trusts him. So to me, Kader Kohu, Keon Cross, whoever's on the other side, Nick Needham maybe, you have to be ready to play with him. So just keep an eye on that. And I'm looking for bounce back games from Javon Holland, Brandon Jones, and Xavier Howard.
An important note just to build off that. We don't even know if Gabe Davis is playing in this game. He's questionable.
Yeah,
he didn't play last week.
He's gonna play.
What's his practice status?
If you're limited in practice 3 days in a row, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna play.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to look. Yeah, he's been limited. He's gonna play. He's gonna play banged up though. But I agree, you can't take Gabe Davis lightly. He is a legit wide receiver 2 in the NFL, and he can't be taken lightly. In Kader Kohu, highest graded PFF corner in football. I love that. I love seeing shit like that. But PFF grades to me mean nothing. They're irrelevant. I just want to see this kid go back out and ball and do what he's been doing. Play with that confidence, man. It's got to feel damn good to one. He didn't even know if he was going to make the team. Like in training camp, he had to feel like I might not make this team. Made the team starting balling. Like Kader Kohu.
Oh, dude, I got lost. I thought you were talking about Gabe Davis. I was like, bro, did you not watch
I'm just saying, Kader Kohu.
My bad. I was zoned out. My bad.
Just keep riding this high, man. You have so much confidence and so much momentum. Just keep doing what you're doing, baby. You've been playing great. You are not one of the people on this team that I'm looking at like, yo, you need to step up. Our cornerback 2, we're just really praying Byron gets back quicker. Kader, you came in and did this thing, man. You are part of the reason this team is rolling and successful. So I'm looking for him to keep it going, man. And there's no reason in my mind why he can't, because he's done it 2 weeks in a row.
You know what's crazy? We really found a gem in him, because when we were in training camp, I don't think any of us would have said Kader Kohu is going to be our cornerback 2 with Byron out. You know, it was always Nick Needham. And then Nick Needham got torched by the Pats week 1. Kader came in, made all those big time plays. And I love Nick Needham in the slot. Like I love him in the slot.
That's where he thrives.
I love him in the slot. And then Kader's been making plays, dude. Yeah, he's been making plays. Do I want him on Diggs? Absolutely not. Like, I want Xavier Howard shadowing Stephon Diggs. And if X gets cooked, he gets cooked. But hey, that's our best guy versus your best guy. And that's how this ship is gonna sink.
I'm coming to collect, Dolphins Realtor. I'm coming to collect. So when we win, I'm taking half that commission. We'll split it between the boys. Just know I'm coming to collect. Thank you for your comment. We need to get into this because I wrote it down at the beginning of the show, because the last 2 weeks we did score predictions. In my mind, I had a score and Smoke said it out loud and it was the exact same score. So at the beginning of this show, I wrote it down in my
31-27 Dolphins.
No way. No way, that's the same.
No
way.
Close though. 34-27 is what I wrote down. I thought you nailed it again.
Wow.
34-27 is my prediction for this game. And that might be a confident, cocky prediction. But at this point in time, I started the week. I said, I'm not betting the Dolphins. The Dolphins can't win this game. It's going to be competitive. Hopefully, we can just stick in it. As the week's gone on, as the momentum's grown, as I get to watch McDaniel do his press conference, as I've rewatched the Ravens game 6 fucking times already, I feel fucking good. So I'm going 34-27.
All right. So for me, I said a different score on a different show, and I retract that. I said 24-20 at first, and that looks fucking stupid. So I'm going to change that now. And I already said it on Twitter too, because someone asked me about it. I'm going 34-33 for your Miami Dolphins. 1 point
I'd
game.
have a stroke.
That's my final score prediction. 34-33. Dolphins win by 1. Tua leads the game-winning drive. Dub.
Yo, Jeff B, I'm dying to hear your score prediction. Like, I genuinely
50-6 Bills.
To hear this. 42-12 Buffalo. Oh my God. Yeah, you're drinking. Oh, Dottie Six said Colorado spring water. I don't know why. I'm tripping. I'm fucking tripping.
Colorado spring dog water. That's what he's sipping.
Yeah, sure. That's what he's thinking.
That's probably the worst score prediction possible. 40-34 Fins. Wow, this over is, according to the people, man, it's gonna fly over.
It's butter.
Fly over. I got 31-27. I think it'll be a dogfight. At the end of the day, I think the Dolphins, we got too much offensively. The Bills are way too banged up. But Bobby, I think we have to give out the same game parlay for the people.
Yeah, bro. So we've been waiting because I'm in New York, and New York just like limits this shit. I don't understand why. But me and Smoke have been working on this. We've been crafting, coming up with what we want. And based on, last week we were an Alec Ingold touchdown away from making 2,500 each. So this week we're gonna simmer it down a little bit. We're not gonna go for that plus 1,800 Alec Ingold touchdown. This is how we're gonna start you out. If you don't think we're picking the Dolphins money line to win this game, you're fucking crazy.
That's the first leg. That's
money
the first
line,
lock.
Baby.
I don't want to make a money off this parlay if the Dolphins don't win this game. Dolphins money line. Then you start out to the guy who's going to throw and abuse this secondary. It's Tua Tagovailoa, only 249 passing yards. He doubled that last week. Literally doubled that. So we're taking over Tua, 249 passing yards. And then who's going to be the guy that's catching them all? I know everyone's going to jump to say Tyreek. That's everyone. Tyreek's going to catch him. It's Waddle, man. Waddle's the guy.
Waddle.
We're looking for Waddle. So right now we have Waddle over 69.5 yards. We also are trying to add his reception total. We're waiting for that to come out. It's not out yet.
Receptions, if it comes out.
Receptions. And same with Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds receptions, because Chase Edmonds is going to be catching screens. He's going to be catching those backfield routes. He's going to be everywhere. Check guy. Edmonds. And then we round it off with, we need a touchdown scorer in there. Who's going to put the ball in the end zone? And that man is Tyreek Hill, bro. It's Tyreek Hill's game to score. He scored twice last week. He's going to get in the end zone once this week. And when I calculate this, I don't have all the lines official. We will tweet this out, but it's looking like it's going to pay about plus 3,000, 30-1. You throw $10 on it, you're making 300. So we're going to have this rolling every week. The Smoke Show parlay. Me and Smoke are going to put our actual money on this thing, and we're going to tweet it out for the people. So if you want to tell, Smoke and I will tweet it out. Let us know. Give us a comment, because there's nothing better in the world of betting than when you and your boys all have the same thing, root for it, and then cash it. It's the best. You send the text out to your boys. You start FaceTiming your boys, talking about all the money and how you're going to go spend it. It's the best thing.
All right, let's go through it one more time. Dolphins money line.
Dolphins money line. Tua over 249 yards. Jalen Waddle receptions. Jalen Waddle yards. Right? Did we do yards or receptions?
Yards and receptions, both.
Yards. Tyreek Hill anytime touchdown. Chase Edmonds over receptions.
That's your parlay.
That's gonna pay
way
more than plus 3,000. That's a 6-leg parlay, and the Dolphins are plus 190.
You're right. I don't have all the odds out, but we will tweet that out, and you guys should tell, because when we cash that bitch, it's gonna be a great time.
Hey, if I can get the betting thing working, I'll do it too. Fuck it.
Hey, if you want in, just let us know. We can put it in for you, bud.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's steamroll. Let's steamroll these bums. And then you guys come back here, Victory Monday, 5 p.m. right here on the Smoke Show. Fins up, baby. Fuck Buffalo. It's our time to shine. Miami takeover. I'll see you guys here on Monday, 5 p.m. on the Smoke Show. Fins up.
Fins up. Come on, baby.